be honest with you guys, I have no idea how I'm gonna format this video, to be real with you guys. I don't know if this is gonna be its own video or if I'm gonna make it into like this huge collective setup tour thing where I compare this setup, my current Nashville setup, with the Atlanta setup that I'm gonna be moving into in a couple of weeks. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cover this setup for you guys, the current Nashville setup, the setup I've been rocking out with for literally the past 4 years. We're gonna be going over the final stage of it, the literal final evolution of this setup before we move on to the Atlanta one. So if you guys are excited, hit the like button down below, comment, subscribe, all of your kind of stuff, and this should be a very sappy and also very heartwarming video. I've literally spent the past 4 years, almost 5 years, making video content in this room, and to like, you know, see it undergo so many changes over the years, and to just think about how much time I've honestly spent in this room. It's a little bit crazy, but hopefully you guys are ready for the ride. Hopefully you guys are excited. And if you guys want to see the previous 2 setup tours, I did one in 2015 and I did one in 2017. If you guys want to see those, they're pretty old, so they're a little cringy. But in those videos, you guys can see like the evolution of this specific room, and I think that's super duper interesting. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey Google, turn on lights.
Sure, turning 3 lights on.
Woo! So, in case you guys are wondering, those are Philips Hue light bulbs. It's a company that makes smart light bulbs so you can control them with your phone, or, by my example, I use a Google Home right over there. I also use it for music and stuff. It's one of those things where like you don't think you really need, but like once you get a hand of like having a Google Assistant just always around you and always available to you, it's one of those things that's hard to get rid of, honestly. So I've been using a Google Home for probably about 2-ish years now with the Philips Hue lights, and they're really cool, not gonna lie, especially for videos. These light bulbs, they can actually become a whole different lot of colors, which makes them perfect for making my camera look just right when it comes to lighting and stuff. Like I can be like, hey Google, make the lights red.
Okay, changing
and
to red.
Now it looks like I'm in a bloodbath. So you can change the colors of them, which is really sweet, not only just for stream effects, but also for color correcting, because I can change like the exact temperature of the whites. So when I say, hey Google, turn on recording lights.
Sure, activating the recording light.
This setting right here is like the perfect lighting that I have discovered throughout testing all the different shades of white. So anyways, yeah, Philips Hue, fantastic lighting. I do highly recommend it, especially for video creators. It really does help, and the light bulbs are bright and they work fantastically. But anyways, you walk through the door over here, which you guys see this door all the time, and the first thing you see is my thick ass bed. My bed is massive. It's one of those things where like it's just it's an immovable object, and I mean that quite literally. I'm not bringing this bed to Atlanta simply because of the fact that it is way too massive. It has my drawers down there, which I actually really like. It means that I don't have to have like a separate dresser, which really does save a lot of space, despite the fact that the bed itself is freaking massive. I lay my head right there. In case you guys are curious, those boxes, they aren't typically part of my setup. They're actually what's going to be taking down this setup. So kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, my head sits right there. I have my phone charger plugged in right here, and the cord just barely reaches, and I charge my phone right there. It works fairly well. I use that long body pillow as a pillow now, just because, I don't know, it's nice. It's very spacious. It allows me to like roll around a lot on the bed and still have my head on a pillow, which is very nice. Moving on, I guess we'll just go kind of from left to right here. I feel like that'll make the most sense. We have my closet here. And my closet's nothing special, it's just a closet. I'm not gonna open the door because it's a mess, not even gonna lie. It's just, honestly, just a nice storage unit. I use it to store like all my props and stuff. I use it to put my extra umbrella light. Right here, that's my camera battery charging. This might die on me like midway through, so that's kind of cool. We'll see how that goes. Right here we have some fan art. Shout out to my friend Ansley, she made that. It's very pretty. We have my power supply box. We have also my old CPU cooler, which died on me. Don't buy that one. We have a dragon poster here. It's just cool. I've had it for a bunch of years now. A lot of the wall decorations I've just had for a very long time, and I just haven't switched them out. So they are kind of outdated to my interests, but for the most part, they just look nice. They kind of spice up the place. Got Minecraft, Speak of the Devil, Knee Shall Appear. Pretty nice poster there. I like it a lot. Moving to the shelves, I don't want to go over like every specific item, but some of the highlights here, that Pikachu is actually my brother Dominic's. Those 2 pair of headphones, they are the Sony Bass Boost wireless, whatever. Both those headphones have broken on me within the past 2 years, and for the same reason. It's that connector right there. there, as you can see, yeah, the whole thing just fell out, and it's literally happened to both of these. So I do like recommend the headphones for every other reason. It's just the build quality is very flimsy. Like, they sound great and they worked very well for the years that I had them, but they just, yeah, and oopsie daisy. And that's not even me being rough with them, that's literally just me like taking them off my head one day and them snapping. So anyways, next here we have my favorite piece of art I have ever made in my entire life. I made it in my Visual Art 2 class. It's a spray painted sort of stencil here. So the stencil is the Alphonse body here. It's from Fullmetal Alchemist. And then we have Edward Elric in the middle in his shadow. I think it's literally the coolest thing ever, and I like it a lot. Moving on my shelf, we have some little knickknacks here, like crayons. That's kind of cool. We have a lot of my DS library. So like you got all the Pokemon games, Platinum, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Mario Kart 7, etc., etc. This right here, this is actually used, I haven't actually used it yet, but this right here is used as a way to capture PS3 footage, because in case you guys didn't know, the PlayStation 3, it has, oopsie daisy. The PlayStation 3 has encrypted HDMI, so you can't just plug it into a capture card, which is where this comes in. Basically, you split the HDMI, and then it somehow allows you to capture the PS3. I haven't used it yet. I haven't really explored PS3 footage yet, but when I do, I'm going to have that to capture it, and I'm very excited. Well, that doesn't actually do the capturing, but it allows you to do the capturing with a typical capture card. We have some Wii games here, like Wii Fit, etc. We have a bongo drum that I actually got from the Animal Kingdom in Disney. That was pretty cool. Moving up a shelf, we have a picture of me. We have all these Switch games, very disorganized. Yeah, you know, my room is not typically very clean. This is probably the cleanest you guys will ever see it. This hat right here, I actually got from my first ever VGC tournament, my first and my last currently, my most recent. It was back in 2014. I went to a regional tournament in Wisconsin, and man, it's kind of crazy to think I went to that tournament like right around when I first started doing Pokemon on the channel, when I first started my channel, really. So that's incredible. Very, very nostalgic and sentimental hat for me. That's basically it. It's like, casually get down off my bed. That's basically all the shelves and bed area. There's also another couple of shelves down there, but it's really just a lot of mess, to be honest. It's a lot of just random games that I don't have up there. So yeah, moving on, we have the drawers right here. That's just where I keep my clothes. Got some cubbies there that I throw some other random stuff in. More drawers for more clothes. I keep my props in that drawer, so like I have like the dad shirt and stuff like that. Moving on though to the main attraction. This is probably what you guys actually came here for. We have my one umbrella light here. This is basically what lights me. I do have another umbrella light, but obviously, you know, with the amount of space I'm working with here, it just does not work. This space is very, very limited, which I hope is something that changes with the Atlanta setup that you guys will also see down the line. But yeah, we got the studio light here. Moving from left to right, there's a lot to talk about here. We have actually my new boom arm. This right here is the Rode, I forgot the exact name. I'll go ahead and throw links to all these items in the description if you guys want to go check it out. But yeah, we got the Rode boom arm here. I actually just got this for my birthday. It works very, very, very well. Freaking fantastic boom arm. We have my headphones here, which are the Bose Q35 wireless comfort. Amazing pair of headphones. Much better and much sturdier than those. Yeah. Over here on the boom arm, I typically keep my little Manetric figure, which I also got from BGC 2014, the regional tournament. It's just really sentimental to me, and he always manages to sit just perfectly on that wire, so that's why I keep him there. Moving on, we have the mic. The mic that I use is the Shure SM7B. Really, really incredible mic. I'm sure you guys have seen Dylan, Ryan, Vinny. We all use the same mics. It's just a really solid mic. Moving on, we have some G Fuel. I've been drinking the new, not new, but I've been drinking Fruit Punch. It's actually my first time having Fruit Punch. I like it a lot. I also got this new white shaker cup. And it's pretty solid. Hashtag Code United. You already know what's good. We have the Stream Deck. This Stream Deck is fantastic. In case you guys don't know Elgato makes a ton of products for streamers as well as content creators, and this Stream Deck is one of them. Basically, it's a 12-button panel that you can use to control basically every aspect of your live stream. It has direct integration with OBS as well as XSplit and stuff like that, and you can literally do everything on here. You can change audio sources, you can play and pause music, you can switch OBS scenes, you can apply effects while you're streaming, you can start your stream, you can tweet out your stream, you can also do basically any hotkey you would like when it comes to editing and stuff like that, and every single key is customizable with folders within each key. Like you can see right here, This is like my traditional button panel that I have here when I go live. This is like a sad effect. This is like a close-up. This is a sort of distance effect. This is just my traditional effect. This plugs my merge. These are all my socials I can make pop up. I can play my music. This one switches my camera angles to my camera in the back, and then also my C920 up here. So it works very well. Fantastic piece of equipment. It's one of those things where like you don't really think you need going into live streaming, but like now that you have it, or now that I have it, I literally could not go back. So works very, very well. We have my keyboard here, which is the Corsair Strafe RGB. Really fantastic keyboard. I like it a lot. Over here we have the Corsair Harpoon mouse. Pretty solid mouse. My favorite thing about it is just the fact that there's buttons on the side. If you guys can see that, there's two little buttons right there, which I use a lot in editing. I use this one right here to cut my clips. So basically what I do is I have a macro set up through the Corsair software, and then whenever I hover my cursor over a clip and have it selected and I press that button, it immediately cuts it at my cursor, which makes editing a lot faster. So big shout out to that. Moving on, we have my Todoroki figure. Brian got me that for Christmas, I believe, and I really like it a lot. I love Todoroki. He's a good boy. Moving on, right here we have a little Pokeball thingy thing that my friend Ansley as well as my friend Skylar made for me. It says Astroid Mini at the bottom. It's 3D printed, has a little Charizard in there, customly painted. It's fantastic. Big shout out to Ansley as well as Skylar. And speaking of Ansley, she also made me this little Lapras 3D printed as well, and it's incredible, man. I love this stuff so much. So that's it on my desk. Also on my desk I have my glasses here that I use, not really frequently. You guys typically see me in contacts. Over here we have the Wii U, we have the Switch right here. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in this tiny little corner. Like I really did take advantage of the space I had here. And it's honestly really exciting to think that I'm going to be able to spread out in Atlanta. Also, my camera's totally going to die, so I'm sorry about that in advance. Moving on though, we have my Cloudlifter. Basically, my microphone here, it runs the XLR cable into the Cloudlifter, and then my Cloudlifter goes into my interface over here. The reason why the Cloudlifter exists is because this mic is a dynamic microphone, which means that it records very, very, very quiet. So the Cloudlifter has to boost that signal up to make it actually worthwhile. So that works out very well. Moving, surprise, surprise, you guys might not expect this, but moving behind the desk, you can see I have a mount there for my second monitor, and I also, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I also have my capture card back there, my Elgato HD60S. I put it in the little crevice there on my monitor, and it's just kind of a convenient place to put it. It's not on the desk, it's hidden away. Oh boy, my camera died. All right, hold up, let me just plug in this battery. Alright, so what I was saying, I have an HDMI cable running from the Switch into my Elgato HD60S, which is my capture card, records 1080p 60, once again by Elgato. Fantastic capture card, I highly recommend it. Then that HDMI runs into this thick monitor here, and then I have a Type-C cable that runs behind the desk and into my computer down there. So, works very, very well. I like it out of sight, and I think it just adds a little bit of a professional vibe. And also, just that little pocket back there on top of the monitor is like the perfect place to put it. Now, speaking of monitors, right here, we have my top monitor, which is just a 1080p regular 16:9 display. Works very, very well. It was actually one of my monitors that I used back in my previous setup video, where I had the typical two monitors set up side by side. And this was one of those monitors, so I took the better of those monitors and I decided to put it on top of my new ultra wide. So the ultra wide here is 1440p, incredible monitor for editing. That's why I got it, honestly. Basically what I do with my Premiere setup is I have the media bin right there, I have my effects right there, I have a massive timeline across the span, most of the span of the monitor, then I have my preview window right there, and then effect controls right there. It's a pretty atypical editing setup, but I love it because of the tall timeline. Having a timeline that spans across basically the entire monitor and then also as wide as a typical monitor is just fantastic. So ultra wide monitors I really do highly recommend, especially for photo and video editing. Also, just to clarify, you guys can see my wallpaper kind of moves. That's from Wallpaper Engine, which is like a $5 piece of software on Steam. I really like that a lot. The wallpaper spans across the whole thing, and it's just cute. It's just cute. But anyways, got my sunglasses here. They were like $10 from Walmart. I really like them. Got my wallet. I got my speakers, which are the Logitech. I'm looking behind me to see them because I have all the boxes up there, and I don't remember what it's called. The Logitech Z313. Hey, nice, buddy. Yeah, no, I actually just got these fairly recently. They're probably the newest addition to this setup. honestly, which is kind of crazy to think that a speaker would be like the latest thing, but I actually didn't have computer speakers for ever. I just always used my headphones, or I would just play the sound out of my monitor speakers, but I finally was like, you know what, screw it, man, let me get some actually okay speakers, and these speakers are very good for the price, honestly. Like 30 bucks, you got 2 speakers right there, and then also a little bit of a subwoofer down there, which you cannot see, but give me 1 second. You see, look at that, pretty cool, right? Pretty solid. It just sits down there, adds a lot of bass, and it works fairly well. So yeah, and then moving on, right here we have my Scarlett Solo kind of hidden behind the desk there. That is actually what takes my microphone input and throws it into the PC. So basically the XLR cable runs from that Cloudlifter boosting the signal into the interface. And then that interface connects via USB to my PC. But then also there's another thing coming out of the interface. It is a headphone line. So basically that runs behind my desk. Underneath here, this whole thing running behind the desk is just a massive headphone extension cord, and then I plug my regular headphone cord into it, and then it goes to here. That's what allows me to hear my PC audio. It's also what allows me to monitor my voice back as I'm recording, so I can hear myself talking in real time. Works very well. It's one of those things where like I literally could not record without it. Like now that I'm so used to monitoring my voice back as I'm recording, I've gotten so used to it. It's just great. It is great. Moving on, down here, well, we have my Google Home, first and foremost. I kind of already talked about that, but I absolutely love it. It's great for playing music. It's also great for controlling my lights, obviously, and it's great for just asking any questions. It's literally the full Google Assistant, so it works well with my calendar. I use Google Calendar, and just having Google Assistant on hand like that is something that is very convenient, not gonna lie. So, moving on, actually, this is where my camera usually sits, which is the Lumix G7. I'm actually using that to record this video right here. That's why it's not there right now, but it sits right there on this little tripod. And then right here, I have a dummy battery, so the camera can get constant power when I'm live streaming and stuff. And then this is an HDMI out cord that runs from the camera into my Cam Link, which is another capture card by Elgato that allows you to capture DSLR cameras like this one. So that's all behind the desk and kind of out of sight, but basically this is where my camera typically sits. I'll go ahead and throw a picture on screen, bop, and I'll take it off screen, bop. So yeah, works very, very well. It's nice to just have such a high quality webcam, quote unquote, because I've used webcams for years, but actually replacing that with an actual camera and then an Elgato capture card, it just works so dang well, and it looks so much nicer than any webcam could possibly look. So moving on, I have my Sun and Moon poster, and then my Breath of the Wild poster. I love Breath of the Wild. Sun and Moon, not so much, but it's there. And then right here we have my Logitech C920, which was my first camera I ever got for YouTube. Also, total side note, my camera is probably gonna die again. Whip! I'm literally scraping by with this battery life right now, trying to get this video done. But yeah, so we have C920 here. It's very, very nice. Highly recommend as a good starter cam. And it's just great. It's just great. I still use it as like a backup cam slash just another camera angle. So it just works. Next up, we got my window here. Nice window, looks out into the backyard. It's nice being near a window because that way I can get some sunlight every now and again. I typically keep it closed though because the sunlight is traditionally just way too strong for my camera and it kind of washes me out. So I typically keep the window closed and I just use this light for lighting. Moving on to my computer though, actually no, before my computer, on top of my computer, I have my Samsung Galaxy Note 9, my phone right now. It's really solid. I've always been more of an Android guy because of the customizability, and I love the Note 9. It's just great. It's just great having a good time with it. Moving on, actually, let me move my phone over here. We have my 3DS and my 3DS capture card. I always keep it on a napkin, surprisingly enough, and the reason why is just because I don't like it touching the desk with the capture card being right there. It's pretty fragile, and it's very hard for me to get a replacement for the 3DS because the person who sells the capture card, his name is Loopy. He's not really selling them anymore. He hasn't been for the past like 4 years. So the fact that I was able to get this capture card is a miracle, and I've held on to it literally ever since ORAS because it's my only means of capturing 3DS footage. Moving on though, we have actually a very crucial part of my setup. Let me go ahead and bump my ISO a little bit so you guys can actually see this here. But yeah, this right here is my Western Digital Blue 1TB SSD. This is what I use to keep all my footage on, and it connects via USB-C into my computer. I typically edit off this. Like basically every piece of footage that typically touches my videos is stored on here and not in my computer. The reason why is because I kind of have, and this is more prevalent when I was in school, but I have kind of a mobile / traditional setup where I have my laptop, which is an HP Pavilion 1050 Ti, 16 gigabytes of RAM, i7 7700 HQ right here. I use this laptop to edit on the go, and then I use my PC obviously to edit when I'm here. So basically when I want to move and I want to edit on my computer over here, I move my SSD from there, plug it into there, and I can kind of pick up right where I left off in Adobe Premiere Pro on the laptop. So that's why I keep basically everything on that SSD, because if I want to switch from my computer and edit on the go, or go from editing on the go to my PC, then everything's already there, it's in the same spot. I don't have to worry about like transferring footage or anything like that. So everything just kind of stays on the SSD, and I switch from my PC to my laptop as I please. Speaking of my actual PC, this is it right here. It's definitely a little bit messy. Cable management could absolutely use some work, but I built it myself. I'm very proud of it, not gonna lie. His name is Killua. His specs, I'll have the full spec list linked down below. But I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, a 1080 Ti, a Ryzen Threadripper 1920X, 12 core, 24 thread, 3.6 gigahertz. I have like 3.5 terabytes of storage in total. So it's a pretty solid build. It works very well for live streaming, works very well with gaming, running VR, editing of course, and yeah, I think this is actually the first time this new build is being shown off in a setup video, so that's very, very, very interesting. Moving on, we just have a little bit of a power pack here for me to plug in everything. I run out of outlet space very fast. And then moving along here, we have a weight that was typically for holding my green screen, and actually this isn't really the final form of this setup, to be totally honest with you guys, because right there, I'll go ahead and flip around here, right here from this chain, there used to be a pole that would go all the way across, and that's where my green screen was. I've taken down my green screen. I took it down about a month ago in order to bring it to Atlanta for Ryan and I's studio room, because we have that now. That's really cool. Yeah, so my green screen typically would be here. That would be like the final version of this setup. Unfortunately, I kind of have already moved it, but just imagine there's a pole there, and imagine a green screen's on a curtain. That is what it used to be. Now it's in Atlanta. But anyways, yeah, that's what this is for too. My dad actually helped me hang this up a while ago. It's kind of a jerry-rig sort of, you know, jank setup, but it works very, very well. Also, this rose, for anybody asking, it's actually a rose from prom. Actually, like a year ago now. It's from my junior year prom. And I don't know, I just kind of keep it there. It's just nice. Moving on, this is my chair that will no longer exist in Atlanta. In case you guys are wondering, in Atlanta, my setup plan is I'm going to be having a couch pulled up to my desk, and then I'm going to get a standing desk. That way I can alter the height of the desk and make a couch work. So yeah, that's my plan. This chair is going bye-bye. It has served me very well, though it's a little beaten up, but for the most part, it's an overall okay chair. Moving across here, this wire is actually the cord for my Brio, which is my old camera before the Lumix. It's right here. It is actually the best webcam you can buy, and I recommend it. It's okay. Like, if you're looking to still stay in the webcam game and you're not trying to upgrade to an actual camera, it's a very solid webcam. It shoots 4K, 1080p 60, and I use this very long and extensive USB cable in order to plug it in from all the way back there. And yeah, it works pretty well as like just a behind cam right now. I typically use it for when I go to my outro scene in my live streams. Then you can see like behind me, and I think it's just kind of a cool view. I had the cable behind the Cheez-It wall, so you literally couldn't see it until it came out over there, but I had to kind of disassemble the whole thing in recent times. So anyways, I got the cable here. Moving on, we have my little drone battery charging station. I have the DJI Spark. But yeah, there it is. It has all of DJI's typical quality, like standard features. So like it flies really, really, really steadily. Battery life is pretty good. The camera quality is okay. It's 1080p 30. And it works fairly well. It's definitely more of like a consumer drone for sure. It's not going to be winning any camera awards or anything, but the nice thing about it is that it's pretty cheap while also maintaining like DJI's just standard. Like you get all their software, you get all their crazy awesome features with the tracking and stuff like that, and it flies really well considering its size. Like it is a very impressive drone, probably the best drone for that price, to be honest. When I bought it, it was much more expensive. I think it was like $500, but I still love it. It's a good time. it's a good time, especially if I, just want to fly it, or for like making videos and stuff. It works fairly well. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. We have my cologne. We also have the controller for the DJI Spark. We have my headphone case right there. We also have a little bit of a mini fan art wall here. I love getting fan art from you guys, and being able to hang it up on my wall is just fantastic. So big shout out to all these fantastic individuals. Anyways, moving on. You guys know, you guys have seen it. This is the Cheez-It wall. Now this Cheez-It wall I'm actually going to be taking down like literally right after I record this video, and it makes me very sad because this Cheez-It wall and I have been on a massive adventure together. It started off as just, a little tower, and then it evolved and grew until it literally became this, and it's been so iconic, so ingrained in my channel's history. It's just kind of insane. But anyways, we have a chair here with the Lapras plush. We got 2 mini Laprases right there as well. Got a cute little mini fridge. It's not super functional, to be honest. Also, the cord's in the way. I don't really have anything in there, but I have used it in the past to like store waters and stuff like that, and it works well. This is actually where I keep most of my beanies, so I have like a whole just stack right here of all the beanies I've worn throughout the past couple of years. This beanie, of course, is the iconic one. This beanie I've literally had since like 7th grade, and I started my channel. This beanie is really what has carried this channel. This is the one that's been in the videos like 99% of the time. We have my old microphone, the Blue Yeti, fairly fantastic microphone considering the price. We have my coffee mug, got a little zappy zap thing. Got another couple mugs back here. We have Skylar's Xbox. So shout out to Skylar. She just kind of let me borrow it, so it's just kind of chills here. Of course, just looking at like the exact wall, we have my Avatar poster. Love Avatar, and of course FMAB. I got these 2 posters at MTech. Basically, what this kind of turned into is just a massive box collection. Every single time I got something new, I just kind of added the box to the wall, and it just kind of turned into my background. It's definitely unorthodox. It's definitely weird, but if you look closely, you got like my camera box, got my speakers, got my CPU box, got some controllers, the Pro controller there, my motherboard, my graphics card, the Nintendo Switch, the Google Home is back there. There's just a lot of random things scattered throughout here. My headphones, my Stream Deck, basically all of the things that we talked about right here, their boxes originate right here. So also on top of that, we have this little thing here, which holds like a little power strip, as well as my Mimikyu. I got my little tripod here, my little vlog tripod. I have my PS3, which actually that PS3, fun fact for you guys, that PS3 was the origination. That was the original source, the original, I guess source of Astroid Mania. That was my PSN name back in the day, and that's what eventually turned into Astroid Mania videos. Over here, we have the TV. The TV, I don't really use it often, to be honest with you guys. It's just too small and too far away from my bed to like really, make it worth using, because I would honestly just rather lay down with my phone. But it's a pretty nice TV. It works very well. I've used it in the past with my Chromecast there, and it's pretty solid. Just standard TV. Got the Brio on the TV, as you guys can see there. Got the Oculus Rift box, got my monitor box, which that monitor is actually my top monitor over there. And also way back here behind all the stuffed animals, that's my ultra wide monitor box. So yeah, that's basically it though. We got a car poster, just as I said, random poster that I've had for a while. This is basically the final form of the Cheez-It wall, and the final time you guys are really going to see it on video, to be honest. I am going to be rebuilding it in Atlanta. It's going to take a new form in Atlanta, but as of right now, this is the final state of it here. And I'm not going to lie, it makes me sad to say that, because just a lot of crazy effort went into this, and the amount of forms, the amount of stages that this has gone through. And also the wall has literally been in the background of like every single video I have made, really, for the most part. So hopefully you guys enjoyed though this little look at my setup. I just really wanted to document this, honestly, mainly honestly for my own purposes, because leaving this room and leaving this setup behind is just really I guess bittersweet is probably the best way to put it. It's exciting to move on to a new workspace, but it's also very sappy and very heartwarming thinking about everything that's been made here and thinking about leaving this whole situation behind. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really don't know if this is going to be a part 1 or if this is going to be its own video, but this is the final stage of my Nashville setup. I love you dudes. Thank you all so much for supporting me as you guys do. And I will see you guys next time. Peace!